This is Scott Becker with the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. Today's discussion is a mountain man, a Skokie person, and a Canadian. So here's what happens in life today. In life today, all of us have different text threads that are going on amongst our friends, our colleagues, our business people, and the people that we're in the closest contact with. This constantness of the text threads. You saw it with the USA hockey team recently, where three of the guys, I can never pronounce it right, the Kachuk brothers and this other guy, JT Miller, ended up really planning out that they're going to have fights at the start of the U.S.-Canada hockey game, just literally buddies on a text thread, and that's what you have in life. What I've got today is some spinoff of that is I've got one of the strangest text threads I have involves a Skokie guy, meaning myself, a mountain man, which is its own story, and a Canadian. And here's how I sort of see this. What you get from these three different stereotypical people, you get from the mountain man someone who wants to do just good in the world, wants to populate the world, wants to make sure everything's going right, the highest integrity you could possibly have, just really fantastic. He has like 83 children and homeschools the kids. This is the mountain man. High integrity, Notre Dame, everything that Notre Dame means, stiff upper jaw, varsity athlete, that kind of person. That's the mountain man. And literally 83 children or something like that. I lost count a long time ago. Hard to keep track. Then you've got a Skokie person, and Skokie person stands for sort of like lower middle class, upwardly mobile, trying to make it, feels that the world's stacked against them, chip on the shoulder. It is what it is. That's sort of the Skokie person. And people could take it all kinds of ways, but that's how we perceive the Skokie person, sort of, trying to be upwardly mobile, trying to make it go in a world stacked against the person. It is what it is. That's Skokie. And finally, you've got the Canadian. The Canadian, in some ways, is the most complex because you get ornery, intelligent, conflicted. Doesn't know if he's cheering for the United States or for Canada. Some days he wants Canada to be a 51st state. I say it as a joke, probably never does. But there are days where you'd like the United States to be another province of Canada. I mean, that is so silly, but it is what it is. But sort of has this love-hate relationship with both himself and with the United States and with Canada. You'll always sort of like, and that I think leads to that constant ornery, sharp wit that he can't control because he's that Canadian and that conflicted Canadian. In some ways, you look at that as a sign of brilliance. I mean, the beauty of the Skokie guy, the beauty of the mountain person, you know what they're doing. The mountain person is trying to populate the world and educate the world, often through homeschooling. The Skokie guy is just upwardly mobile, trying to get by in a difficult world. And the Canadian is a little bit conflicted, ornery, intelligent, sharp, witty, hard to make sense of often, but as good as they come. That's what you get today: a mountain man, a Skokie man, and a Canadian. It almost makes for a joke. The three of them walk into the bar. What happens, God only knows. That's all I've got for you today. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast. We know this is a ridiculous episode, but if you identify with any of the stereotypes, the mountain man, the Skokie man, or the Canadian, please text me at 773-766-5322, and we will send you a $100 Amazon gift certificate if you are the first to respond to this podcast. Thank you for listening to the Becker Private Equity and Business Podcast.